Hey Kerren, this is Wade down here at Handy Toyota. We've all been waiting at the edge of our seats and it has finally arrived. The 2015 Toyota Camry SE. It comes in the LE, it has an XSE category. It's got a couple different models this year. This is pretty much the redesign that we're going with here. The grille is very different. If you can tell, it's a mesh grille, almost like a honeycomb pattern. The fog lamps are actually it's a very more aerodynamic car. They say the fuel efficiency is helped by the way that the car is shaped. Color keyed mirrors, LED headlamps, they're daytime running lights. You have alloy wheels. They changed the design of the rim, so it has a 3-spoke section. I think the way that they did it is very cool. They have the body side molding on this particular model with the chrome inlays. The back seat, very comfortable. They redesigned the Softex, so it's a very comfortable Softex, almost like a suede or a leather. The back seat, very spacious. You can pop the trunk just like this with the key, or you have an option of doing it from the front. Spacious trunk. The seats do fold down, so you're able to add longer cargo and still remain having a seat that's a 60-40 split. You have the rear deck spoiler here, which is built in, which I think is a really very nice design. The 2015 Camrys, they have the same engines. This is the SE, like I said, so it's a sport edition, but it does get a little bit more for fuel. It gets about 28 combined, which is roughly 24 in the city, 35 in the highway. Interior features are similar, but the design has been, I don't want to say upgraded, I just want to say fine-tuned. So if you hop in, I'll be glad to show you exactly what I mean. So I'm not sure if you're a former Camry owner or if this is your first experience with the Toyota Camry, but they redesigned the steering wheel to let you use a lot more hands-free stuff, so you can still keep both eyes on the road and change radio stations. You can make and receive phone calls with your Bluetooth setting. You can use voice command to change the radio station or make the call or do a couple of other things, which I can explain in more detail at another time. It also has different settings where you can change what's showing in front of you in different languages and units. You can show miles per gallon, you can show your trip odometer. There's just a multitude of options that you have here. This will control your radio. You have 36 radio presets. You can scan up and down or left and right through stations. You can change volume, you can switch mode, AM, FM, CD, etc. And this will actually allow you to go back on a page like a web page browser. These paddle shifters coincide with the sequential shift mode, which this is an electronically controlled automatic transmission, but when I put it over into the S or sequential shift mode, it enables me to manually shift the automatic transmission. It gives the driver a little bit more control. Like I said, you can go all the way up to 6 or down to 1, and you can also use these shifters here to do so. Left is negative, right is positive. So it just gives you a little bit more control while driving. If you master the technique, you actually save a little bit more on gas. You have a car button here that will record your driving range, your fuel consumption, and it'll map it out. It's actually a very smart car. Cars are becoming more and more like computers every year, so this car will save itself gas even if the way you're driving isn't. Cruise control, variable intermittent windshield wipers, automatic daytime running lights with those LED headlamps I was telling you about, with those integrated fog lamps, which are very, very good for those misty nights where it's kind of hard to see. Power windows, locks, mirrors, power everything. You have a integrated backup camera with path projection and a red stop line, which is conservatively about 6 to 12 inches off your back bumper. By 2015, the government had mandated that every vehicle must have a backup camera, so this is the beginning of that. The 2014 Camry does not have backup camera, so this is, like I said, the start. your USB auxiliary 2 12-volt adapters, the sliding head armrest, so you have a little bit more options for space with your cup holders. This can come out too, so if you're using that for storage. Like I said, it's hands-free, so once you pair up a phone, you'll be able to make and receive the phone calls without having to take your hands off the steering wheel, which can save you some hefty fines. I believe your first offense is $300, your second offense is $600 a ticket. So definitely not something you want to do. Heating, cooling, all straightforward right here. Back seat, like I said, very comfortable. It has this red stitching and sort of a triangle mesh design. It's not really a two-tone because the colors are the same. The red stitching is the only offsetting color, but it does give, the pattern does give it a little bit of a flair. Calvin Klein actually designed the interior of all the new Toyotas, so it was done by somebody other than an engineer somewhere in a factory. So I think it's a beautiful car. I sold my mother a Camry, so I stand behind them. They have 10 airbags, whereas its competitor, which is mainly, say, a Honda Civic, would only have 6. And if you look at that from a manufacturing standpoint, an airbag costs about $1,000 for a manufacturer to install. So if you think about it, we're competing with a $4,000 price difference right off the bat in regards to your safety. Like, we want to keep you safe, we want to keep you healthy. It has 6-star safety features, which include your anti-lock brakes, your vehicle stability control, and a couple more that I'd like to mention. There are a few more than that, but 2 I'd like to mention in particular. You have Smart Stop technology, which is an instance where you hit the accelerator and the brake at the same time. The vehicle actually reduce engine power and save the transmission from any sort of damage from being done. Also, it has what's called brake assist. Say I'm driving along, I see something run out in front of me, I slam on the brakes. The car is going to realize that you are doing what's called panic braking, and it's going to add more brake force than humanly possible, and it's going to cut the engine, so you're going to stop on a dime. It's going to keep you safe. The airbags, combined with the star safety features, make the Camry one of the most reliable and safe vehicles there are today on the road. Talking about reliability, the Camry has been well known to run for hundreds of thousands of miles. We had a man come in a couple weeks ago with a Camry that had 415,000 miles on it, and it was still in perfect mechanical condition. He had never done any major repairs to it. He had done obvious maintenance and upkeep and a few timing belts and such like that, but nothing major. Engine, transmission the same, fuel tank, everything major was the same as the day he bought it. The Camry has been the #1 selling vehicle in the country for the last 16 out of 17 years, 12 of those years consecutively. So obviously it is a great vehicle. I wouldn't have sold my mother a Camry if I didn't stand behind it, and I wouldn't speak so vehemently if I wouldn't be so proud of them. Actually, as from a point of view of a salesman, I really do like these Camrys. I love these Camrys. I'm going to buy one myself. Also, 90% of Camrys sold 10 years ago are still on the road today, and that's a fact that's been verified by the U.S. Consumer Board. It's just a very reliable, safe car. And whereas a Honda Civic will also go for the hundreds of thousands of miles, it doesn't have the same safety features. Where a Nissan Altima will go for a long time, you tend to do more repairs, there's more mechanical issues involved with that. Toyota is just a great brand, great consumer reports, and if you look up and do a little individual research on your own, you can verify all the facts that I've just said to you here. My number is 802-528-2246, and my email is wmcdonald@handycars.com. On behalf of myself and Handy Toyota, I want to thank you for the opportunity to earn your business, and I look forward to working with you very soon.